There's a plant that makes more food than tomatoes. Not a bit more, but 10 times more over its lifetime. It fruits all year in mild climes, rather than simply in the summer. The crop can be stored at room temperature for up to lucket months without being canned or frozen. And once planted, it will continue to produce for 9 to Sanju years without the need for replanting. Every nursery in America used to sell it. Each farm family grew it. Agricultural extension offices marketed it as critical to food security. And then, in less than 19 years, it vanished from American gardens so completely that most people under group have never heard of it. This was not because the plant had stopped working. This was not due to a better option becoming available. This was purposeful repression. Because a plant that can generate year-round food for decades from a single planting endangers the entire industrial food system, seed firms lose clients who will never buy seeds again. Grocery stores lose customers who cultivate their own produce year-round. And the entire premise of annual gardening, which involves purchasing seeds and plants every spring, crumbles when people discover perpetual options that work better. This is the story of a plant that is superior to tomatoes in nearly every regard. And why did they bury it so thoroughly that you forgot it even existed? In Secondju Yongzu, my grandma owned a farm in Tennessee. She is showing me a faded black and white image. A woman stands close to a plant that is taller than her and covered in little round fruits. Hundreds, perhaps thousands. That's me, she says. Sengi Yaoyangtan. That is my tree tomato. I look closer. The fruits resemble elongated, reddish-orange tomatoes that hang in clusters. How big has it gotten? She claims to be Hoond all. It was produced for Hoonda years before succumbing to a harsh freeze. We ate from that one plant virtually all year. Made sauce, dried them, and kept fresh ones in the root cellar. That single plant provided for our entire family, as well as half of the neighbors. Never replanted it, simply continued harvesting. I want to know what happened to it. She looks at me as if I am inquiring about something from another planet. They ceased selling them after the war. Nobody wanted them anymore. Everyone wanted conventional tomatoes, hybrid tomatoes, and things that had to be replanted each year. I'm not sure why the tree tomatoes were better. The plant she's talking about is Siphamandra beta. The common name for Tamarillo is tree tomato. Native to South America, introduced to North America in the late Sangbieks. In the Sangbiak juice and Sangbiak Sain juice. It was widely grown in California, Florida, and the southern states. Agricultural extension promotes this as a superior perennial alternative to annual tomatoes. And then it went. Not from existence, it still grows in New Zealand, South America, and portions of Australia, but from American agriculture and culture. Nowadays, most Americans have never heard of Tamarillo. Most gardeners are unaware it exists, and those few that do believe it is an exotic tropical fruit that cannot be cultivated in the United States. All of this is bogus. Let me show you what Tamarillo really is. Then I'll explain why it's better than tomatoes. And then I will explain why it was buried. Tamarillo is a rapidly growing perennial shrub or small tree. Reaches visit to 200 feet in the or sounds. Large, heart-shaped leaves. It produces clusters of egg-shaped fruits, Nisan inches long. The fruits resemble elongated tomatoes. Smooth skin. The colors range from red to orange to yellow, depending on the variety. The flavor is distinct, tangy, and somewhat sweet, with notes of tomato and passion fruit. Although not identical to tomatoes, they are utilized in similar ways. Despite their tartness, they can be eaten fresh. Peel the skin and cut the flesh. Add to salads, salsas, and sauces, or cook them. They make great sauces, chutneys, and jams. They can be dried and preserved, and they can be kept fresh in cool temperatures for 4 to 6 months. That's the key distinction. Regular tomatoes can last anywhere from a few days to 2 weeks fresh. Tamarillo's final months. Now let us talk about production. A mature Tamarillo plant yields 100 and 500 per year. According to some sources, it can weigh up to 1 utter perfect conditions. Production begins in the second year following planting. By year 3, you have a complete crop, and the plant can generate for Ni to Sanju years. Do the math. One plant produces Ju to 50 pounds per year for 9 is 1 to Sanju years. That's seen to Sanju years fruit from a single plantation. A tomato plant can generate Hu Sanju pounds in one season, then it dies. You replant next year. Over the course of 9 Ju years, assuming you replant every year an average 9 Ju pounds per plant, one tomato plant location will generate Gohamban. One Tamarillo produces 2 to 6 times as much food in the same amount of space and time. And you just planted it once, not Ninju times. But things get better. Tamarillo produces all year in moderate regions, rather than just during the harvest season. Continuous production. In subtropical regions, they primarily fruit in the fall and winter, when tomatoes are not growing. This translates to fresh fruit during months when nothing else is accessible. In genuinely tropical regions, they produce continuously. Even in milder climes, where they are not nearly perennial, they have longer growing seasons than tomatoes. Tamarillos in California's Central Valley produced fruit from July to December before being mainly abandoned. Also, Tamarillo is little maintenance. Once planted, they require minimal water. They are less susceptible to pests and diseases than tomatoes. No staking is necessary. There is no need for trimming, yet it can improve productivity. You plant them, you water them when they are establishing, then they simply produce for decades. Compare this to tomatoes. Annual replanting, staking, continuous watering, pest management, disease concerns, labor-intensive, and costly upkeep all result in decreased total productivity. So, why would someone choose tomatoes over tamarillos? Tamarillos disappeared before most people had an opportunity to evaluate them. Thus, familiarity, flavor, and preference were the main factors. Allow me to describe what happened. Tamarillos became popular in the fairy WWII 5000. Extension agents marketed them. Nurseries sold them. Home gardeners planted them. They were especially popular in victory gardens during WWII since they produced abundantly with little input. However, following the war, a number of events occurred concurrently that ended Tamarillo farming in the United States. First, industrial agriculture and suburbanization accelerated. The model modified to include annual crops, hybrid seeds, and chemical inputs. Perennial food plants did not suit the model. You cannot sell annual seeds for perennial plants. You cannot offer fertilizers or insecticides to plants that do not require them. Tamarillos were excessively autonomous and self-sufficient. Second, the tomato industry skyrocketed. Hybrid tomatoes were in development. Variety cultivated for disease resistance, uniform ripening, and shipping endurance. The industry made significant investments in tomato breeding and promotion. Tamarillos received Pacento zero investment. They're not suitable for industrial agriculture. They do not ship well. They are perennial. Thus, they do not fit into the yearly crop cycle. The tomato industry was not interested in marketing a superior alternative that would lower tomato sales. Third, suburban culture changed. The style featured annual flower and vegetable gardens. Perennial food plants appeared agrarian, not suburban. Tamarillo are tiny trees. They do not fit in raised bed gardens. They do not suit the annual replanting cycle that garden centers rely on. A customer who plants a Tamarillo and harvests from it for Niju years is one that the garden center will lose. They do not return to purchase tomato plants every spring. Fourth, agricultural extension switched its focus. Following the war, extension programs became increasingly focused on commercial agriculture rather than domestic food production. Tamarillo is not a commercial crop in the United States. They lack the necessary infrastructure. Therefore, extension stopped advertising them. Without extension support, knowledge of how to grow them has disappeared. Fifth, cold weather events in the Cinque Pietre Gruce and Cinque Pietre Gruce decimated Tamarillo plants in borderline areas. Tamarillos are frost tender. They can withstand light frosts, but strong freezes destroy them completely. The coldest winter in decades struck California and the southern states. It killed the established Tamarillo plants. People did not replant them. Nurseries stopped carrying them when demand fell. Within one generation, Tamarillos had gone from common to forgotten. But here's why this suppression is odd. Tamarillo did not disappear completely. They remain popular in New Zealand, where they are grown commercially. They are grown in South America. They are grown in regions of Australia. The plant did not fail. It was successful everywhere except the United States, the country with the most advanced industrial food systems, the country where seed producers, garden centers, and grocery retailers make the most money from annual dependence. That's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. A plant that can yield for decades from a single planting poses a threat to numerous businesses at once. Seed suppliers cannot sell you seeds every year. Garden centers cannot offer transplants every spring. When you grow your own tomatoes, grocery retailers cannot sell them all year. Fertilizer businesses cannot sell inputs to plants that do not require much. When people understand there are perennial options that function better, the entire annual gardening model crumbles. So Tamarillo was gradually phased away. It was not prohibited or rendered illegal. It simply stopped being promoted, sold, and acknowledged. They moved from being widely grown to being nearly unknown in less than 2 decades. Today, most gardeners are unaware that they are missing out on a plant that exceeds tomatoes in nearly every practical metric. Because Tamarillos are still available, allow me to demonstrate how to grow them. Seeds are accessible from specialized companies. Plants can be acquired online and are easy to grow in appropriate climates. Tamarillos require frost-free or near frost-free environments. They can withstand temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Light frost will not kill them, but strong freezes will. This suggests they're perennial in USDA zones WWII, parts of California, Florida, the Gulf Coast, southern Arizona, and Texas. In colder climates, they can be grown in huge containers and kept indoors during the winter, or cultivated as annuals, which negates the perennial advantage. Tamarillos can be grown in full sun or light shade. They prefer well-drained soil but may withstand a variety of situations. Space plants roke to feet apart. They grow swiftly, water frequently while developing. Once grown, they are reasonably drought-tolerant, although continuous hydration improves yield. Tamarillo starts producing in the second year. By year 3, production will be at full capacity. Harvest fruits when they are completely pigmented and slightly tender to the touch. Do not pull them. To avoid injuring the plant, cut the stem. The fruit can be stored in a cold room for several weeks. They survive months when properly stored in a cold environment. They can also be frozen, processed into sauce or jam, or dried. To shape and remove dead wood, lightly prune Tamarillos. Heavy pruning can diminish production while also controlling size. Fertilize them occasionally with a balanced organic fertilizer, although they do not require excessive feeding. Pests are minimal. Keep an eye out for aphids on occasion. Diseases are uncommon compared to tomatoes. The most difficult task is cold protection in borderline climates. If you live in zone behind freezes acute, where harsh freezes occur on occasion, you must protect your plants or accept the possibility that excessive cold will kill them. Mulch firmly around the base. Cover plants during frost warnings, or plant in a protected area near a building or under tree canopy. Yet, in suitable regions, Tamarillo are easier to grow than tomatoes and significantly more productive over time. One plant, Niju to Sanju years of production, Guoju to 5 pounds per year, with minimal upkeep. Annual tomatoes cannot compete with this level of food security. So, why aren't more people growing them? Because they are unaware of their own existence. Because nurseries do not sell them. Because the gardening media does not cover them. Because the entire system is intended to sell annual seeds and plants rather than promoting perennial alternatives. And because once knowledge is suppressed, it is difficult to recover. But the information is coming back. Small seed firms sell Tamarillo seeds. Plant propagation takes place in specialty nurseries. Permaculture and food forest activists are rediscovering perennial fruits. People are discovering that the annual gardening concept is not viable. Replanting every year, buying seeds every spring, relying on functional supply chains, all of this is precarious. Perennial food plants are hardy. Plant once and harvest for decades. Tamarillos signify just that. And it's not just Tamarillo. There are dozens of perennial fruits and vegetables that were once popular but are now forgotten. Plants that can provide more food with less effort than annual crops. Plants that were buried for the same reasons that Tamarillo were buried. They make people too autonomous, too self-sufficient, and too distant from the conventional food system. Reviving these plants involves defying the system. It entails rejecting the notion that annual replanting is usual. It entails acknowledging that the industrial agriculture paradigm is focused on dependence and recurrent revenues rather than efficiency or production. Perennial food plants defy that model, which is precisely why they were prohibited. So this is what you do. If you live in zones Q-8, plant a Tamarillo. If you live in zone Hajj, try one in a secure area or a huge container. Learn how to grow it. Discover what it's like to harvest from the same plant year after year, and then share your expertise. Give cutouts to neighbors. Tamarillo roots easily from cuttings. Tell others what you're growing. Break the stillness that hides these plants. Every person who plants a Tamarillo and harvests from it for years will quit buying tomato plants in the spring. That means one less customer for garden centers. One person grows their own produce year-round, rather of relying on grocery retailers. Multiply it by thousands or millions to understand why these plants were buried. They perform too well. They make people overly autonomous. Tamarillo is a superior plant than tomato. Produces year-round in mild areas. Stores for 6 months without processing. Never requires replanting. One plant, decades of harvests. And they buried it so deeply that you forgot it existed. You now know. You can now opt to recover what has been lost. Instead of relying on an annual harvest, you may now cultivate perennial food security.